scene breakdown? You did some kind of discourse analysis?
Yeah, it's like a critical discourse analysis. Some kind of critical discourse analysis is also used.
But when you have to call something as research paper, you need to state the methodology and parameters of analysis, right?
Okay, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, our next presenter for today is Mr. Paulson Santosh Nityarajan. He is a research scholar from the Visual Communication and Media and Communication Department from the Karunya Institute of Technology and Science. On to Mr. Paulson.
Yeah, thank you. So
Sir,
I'll share my screen now.
You want us to, we have your presentation with you. You want us to present it for you.
Yeah. So no need to present?
Okay.
So shall I present or you will present?
You may present it.
Yeah, I will present, yeah. So can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yeah, so thank you all. So
Not presented, no?
sorry?
Presentation is not on.
The presentation is not on, but please wait. We'll try and present it for you.
Just a minute. I think I didn't share the screen.
Yeah, we could see.
Can you see the presentation, sir? We're presenting it for you. Are you able to see the presentation?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, so my topic is, thank you once again for accepting my paper there. So this is Paulson. I'm doing my PhD in Karunya Institute. So my topic is it's about women and gender, where women are portrayed in certain films. I've selected certain films. So it's a peculiar film. One is Ratchasi. We all know, as a Tamil speaking people, we know Ratchasi. But in Hindi, there's another movie called as Hichki, played by Rani Mukherjee. So this movie I have taken as a kind of a comparative study. Okay, so I have used the social realism concept, and I have used feminist theory, as well as analyzing the different scenes using thematic analysis, and finally I'm using formalist film theory. Okay, so Bella Bellas's formalist film theory, where it focuses on the technical aspects of the movie. Okay, so I have used this movie because in both this movie, where women as academicians are kind of a catalyst, they're acting as a catalyst for change in students' lives. Okay, so in Hichki, Rani Mukherjee plays a character called as Anna Mathur. Okay, so she has a Tourette syndrome, and she actually takes in charge of the class teacher of 9F. Okay, so 9F in a very it's kind of imaginary school, actually, St. Notker's. It's in Mumbai, so it's an imaginary school where 9F students are actually from slums. Okay, so when you see the background story of each and every student of 9F, all the students actually come from slums. Okay, so no teacher actually interested in taking classes for them. So this teacher, Anna Mathur, actually enters the classroom and changes the whole atmosphere, where she uses real-time activities, practical activities, all those interesting classes, where the other class students, like for example 9A and B and C, they are very jealous, seeing these slum children doing very well in exams. So obviously it's not a tragedy in this movie, where she becomes a principal finally, and she actually impacts many students, especially the 9F students, where there are 14 to 15 students shown in the film, where these students actually come up in life. So this movie actually shows how the female character is represented, in different scenes. She goes out of the box and goes to that particular area and helps them, speaks to their parents, helps them in exams, everything. So all this commercial aspects of the movie is there. Next slide. all these commercial aspects of the movie is there in this movie, but still women. Next slide, next slide, next. So women are actually portrayed as, you know, the women have their, you know, the embodiment of women's nature as a mother, as a sister, but still they are very strict, and they also show that they can do everything. They have this freedom of, you know, changing the course and changes and course of students' life. Okay, so this goes with the movie Hitchki, where she actually, you know, she has a disadvantage, not a disadvantage, she has a peculiar deformity where she can't speak nicely, her speech is very deterred, okay, because of Tourette syndrome. So even though she has Tourette syndrome, she helps people, you know, she helps students come up in life. So I have used this social realism concept plus feminist theory, you know, as well as the social representation which is happening in this movie, which actually related to that particular you know, society at that time. Not only that, these movies doesn't portray a stereotypical, both in Ratchasi and both in Hitchki, they doesn't portray female as stereotypical heroine or, you know, dancing in some number, something like that. There are very few films actually, Hitchki, Ratchasi and some other films, where they show women as you know, power as equal to women, as equal to men. Okay, so next slide. When you go to the next movie Ratchasi, where we see Geeta Rani played by Jyotika. So here the same thing, when you compare it to Hitchki, the same thing. Next slide. This is over. Go to Ratchasi. Yeah. So here Jyotika plays Geeta Rani as a principal. So in this movie, the history of Geeta Rani, shown as if she is from a military background. She is very strict. Obviously, this movie has some commercial content in that, where she fights the goons, you know. That is little bit not realistic, but still the movie is shown where a single lady can change the whole school, you know, straight from the minds of the people, where she helps, you know, the women candidates, women students, where she helps them to how to, you know, maneuver the feelings and how to cope with the feelings of the women, adolescent women, when a boy proposes. Okay, so that thing, and how the film shows how a particular daughter has a relationship with her father. So she's very studious, very strict, and she also, you know, kind of fights with the male male antagonist actually. So yeah, this movie, she doesn't have any deformity, but still she has lots and lots of opposition in the form of MLAs, MPs, and even from the school itself, from the vice principals and the other school teachers. So finally, again, the same thing, it's not a tragedy. So she finally comes up in life, being a teacher, transferred to rural school as a principal, and she impacts the life of different school children. So when you compare these two movies, we see even in movie like Kala, or in movie like Paranjit's movie like Sarpata Parambe, or Bandit Queen, for example. In all these movies, the women character has strong feeling and strong freedom of coming up in life, but this movie, this is not stereotypical thing, but they've shown women as on par with men characters. Yeah. Okay, so here they show as a teacher or a military officer, or sometimes in movies like Mardani and all, they show women as police officers, right? So yeah, I mean, the next slide, conclusion. So this is what actually I found out from this particular research, where women are actually kind of a catalyst, or they become like a vehicle of social change for children. Okay, so how they teach, how they help, apart from teaching, going out of the box, out of the journey, out of the track, to help students come in terms that this is the reality. So this is what I got from this research. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next presenter, ma'am, Anuleka ma'am, any of the panel members, if they have any comments to say, you can say it now, ma'am. Hello. If the panel members has any comments to make, you can say it now.
Is there any particular reason to compare these two films?
Yeah, ma'am. These two films actually has female characters as teachers, ma'am. In Hitchki, the female character is actually a teacher with deformity. She has Tourette syndrome. In Rajasi, again, she's a teacher come principal. So she's also has an opposition in different way. But in Hitchki, she also has a opposition in different way. So both are actually in the same boat, but the oppositions are in different kind. So that's why I actually compared these two
Any
movies.
set of parameters to analyze?
Sorry, ma'am.
Did you frame any parameters to analyze?
Yeah, I use this feminist theory, ma'am, representation of feminism in these two films, and apart from that, the social realism concept, where how female characters are represented in different scenes, and apart from that, finally, I use this formalist film theory, where how the particular female character is portrayed, how the lighting is there, how the background is played out for the particular character. So these are the three main parameters which I use for this particular movie.
More like
Because
this two movies, right?
yeah, ma'am. Because this two movie has certain similarities, so that's why I took these two movies. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is an announcement for all the participants of the Zoom meeting. Kindly keep your microphones muted unless you're the participant who is presenting. You may unmute your mic, but other than that, all the other participants, I request you all to please keep your mics muted. Thank you. Our next presenter for today is Mr. R. Arun Kumar. He's a research scholar from the Department of Communication in Manonmaniyam Sundarnar University. On to Mr. Arun Kumar. Sorry, it looks like he couldn't join us for today's session. We're moving on to the next presenter, Ms. Vishnupriya. She's a research scholar from the School of Communication, Dr. G.R. Damodaran College of Sciences. On to Ms. Vishnupriya.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Is it audible? Yeah, thank you so much. Good morning. My topic is about the behavioral intention of college students adopting technology for online learning with reference to arts and science colleges in Coimbatore district. So we all know e-learning is the trend now, and we define e-learning is defined as the learning and teaching through network technologies via online, and is arguably one of the most powerful responses to the growing need for the knowledge and skills. So number of studies have indicated that e-learning implementation is just not only a technical solution for the learning process, but also a process of different factors like social, behavior, and brick and mortar implementation in the online platform. So the main objective for the study is to analyze the behavioral intention of college students in adopting the technology for online learning. So the research methodology, I adopted descriptive research design for the study, and I chose Coimbatore to collect the data regarding the research. And the adoption of technology supporting online learning is the prime objective of the study perceived among the college students from different arts and science colleges in rural areas of Coimbatore district. So a simple random sampling method was adopted to collect 177 sample respondents from arts and science colleges in Coimbatore district. And the statistical tools I used was descriptive analysis, statistics, correlation, and regression analysis. So the model I adopted for the study was UT-AUT model, that is unified acceptance, a unified theory of acceptance and use of technology model framed by Venkatesh, and it helped in this field to more find more dimensions affecting users' behavioral intention and increase the ability of the model to explain and comprehension of users' behavior. So this model predicted that it informally informs nearly 70% of the users' variance behavioral intention to use technology, and over 50% in the actual usage over technology acceptance model. The UT-AUT model states that user acceptance and the use of technology is explained by 4 factors, namely felicitating conditions, effort expectancy, social influence, and performance expectancy. So here are the descriptions for performance expectancy. It is the extent to which a technology benefits the user when performing a particular activity. The construct of performance expectancy is commonly incorporated into the UT-AUT to predict behavioral intention to use ICT systems. And next is the effort expectancy. That is the level of effort a consumer thinks a specific task will require. So to examine the user's intention to use of technology, this construct is used. Next is the social influence. Social influence is the extent that consumer feels other people think that they ought to be using a specific technology. So it is used to find out the influencing factor. And next is felicitating condition. It is the user's perception of disposable resources and support when performing a task. And behavioral intention refers to the individual's decision regarding future system use. So it is defined as a measure of strength of one's intention to perform a specified behavior. So the hypothesis would be there should be a significant, they're expected a significant positive relationship between the performance expectancy and behavioral intention, effort expectancy and behavioral intention, social influence and behavioral intention, and felicitating condition and behavioral intention. The findings and the results of the study are using online learning system increases equity between all students. By using the online learning system, a student is able to obtain learning services easily. Friends and mentors are the influencers to make a student to use the online learning system. Students have the resources necessary to use the online learning system, and the students intend to use the online learning websites and future learning activities. So these are the statistical data. I'll move on to the conclusion. The research concludes the conceptual model and the theoretical framework indicating the use of UT-AUT model to evaluate the students using online platforms that has influence on their usage, intention, and performance. The model derived with 4 predictor variables and 1 dependent construct that measure the direct effect of each predictor on the outcome, that is the behavioral intention, proved to be statistically significant. Even though there is a concern about privacy and health threat that does not have significant impact on students' learning process, whereas significantly enhances their academic performance. So moving on to the policy implications, in spite of positive features, there are challenges faced by the students such as wasting their time, decline in the health due to the late night outs, constant viewing, etc. might significantly influence their lifestyle while adopting a new technology. In this regard, some of the information can be considered as a key contribution by the researcher for the policy implications by the way of increasing the attention of parents towards their wards, developers involved in designing the technology, institutions, tutors, mentors, psychologists can meaningfully involve themselves in concocting ways and means that can significantly suit the students and help them effectively adopt the technology for studying. Therefore, this can pave the way for future researches and proceed towards new dimensions, throwing light on different perspectives and visual communication research. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anureka, ma'am, if you have any comments, you can.
Yeah, which age group of people you did a survey on, ma?
Ma'am, UG students, ma'am, UG and PG students of rural colleges, ma'am.
Okay, so it's specifically UG and PG rural colleges.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Out of the Coimbatore city, I've chosen 3-4 colleges, and then I've collected the data, ma'am. Randomly, I collected the data.
Okay, so that is the focus is only on online version, nothing to do with the blended concept.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Not with the blended concept.
Okay, but now fully to institutional learning.
It's not audible, sir. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? It's not audible. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, I can hear you, ma'am, but the sir's voice was not audible.
When was the study conducted?
Ma'am, a year back.
I was just wondering.
You're back.
Oh, fine.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Jenin sir, if you have any questions or comments to make, you can ask. Okay, moving on to the next presenter, Mr. Rahim Khan. He's a research scholar from the Department of Culture and Media Studies from the Central University of Rajasthan. On to you, Mr. Rahim Khan.
Thank you, sir. Please make me host. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
You're sharing this.
We are sharing the screen. We are sharing your PPT for you. Are you able to see the PPT?
Yes, and now it is not visible.
1 second. Yeah, are you able to see the PPT, sir?
No. Now it is visible. Yes.
Yeah, if you want us to change the slides, please let us know. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. And myself, Rahim Khan, a research scholar from Central University of Rajasthan. And today I am going to present the rise of digital journalism, new trends and challenges. Please change the PPT. Hello. Next PPT, please. Yeah. It's taking time. The journalism originated is the reportage of current events, specifically in printed media. With the development of electronic communication tools and platforms, new organizations have discovered digital journalism, new ways of the collecting information, editing and publishing stories in digital platform. It has emerged as an alternative to print media, and it has become more relevant in the time of the COVID-19 era. The COVID-19 pandemic also changed the working style of journalists and the news organizations. The rise of digital journalism has set a new trend in media professionalism. It has opened opportunities for the multiple outlets of the diverse point of views and news with greater immediacy. As a news trend, the traditional mainstream media, print, radio, and television are shifting to the digital journalism for editing, processing, and publishing the news content, and as a result, news consumption has increased widely. As of now, as many as 80% of the Indians consumes news on the internet primarily through the social media and instant messaging services. The large-scale use of service like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and the YouTube has allowed news organizations to offer regular updates to consumers on current events, bypassing barriers of the time and accessibility. Please change the slide. The new trend of digital journalism also stands as new challenges that are crucial for media professionalism. Therefore, this research under the title Using Secondary Data aims to examine the challenges of data privacy and security, future orientation of digital journalism in post-COVID-19 era, the impact of digital journalism on traditional media, that is print, radio, and television, journalism on traditional media, regulatory framework, guidelines, and code of conduct for digital journalism, rights and duties of digital journalists, examining on the new challenges and qualitative analysis. This research work will propose a framework and a paradigm for media professionalism in the age of information society. Please change the slide. Next slide, please. Indians are consuming more news, more often preferring online access over offline. Digital platforms have changed the news. The consumption, distribution, and production of news have altered fundamentally. The platforms provide a point of access to news, a function formerly performed by media companies. Journalism has multiple roles in monitors and curbs power. It supports and creates public debates, and it educates and entertains. News is a public good. It serves a purpose beyond the immediate need of advertiser and the consumer, but it is difficult to monetize that good. Hence, it has traditionally needed a cross subsidy in the form of advertising or, in some cases, government support. To attract audience, news producers often have to make their content available to search engines and social media. with little or no financial return. And to satisfy the working of digital platforms, news producers create content that is more emotive and shareable. Please change the slide. Please, next slide, please. The impact of technology on the media is the technology does not determine consumer behavior, but it influences and shape online behavior by enabling and encouraging consumers to engage in certain ways, not in others. In many cases, algorithm determines which content news consumers get to see. The working of these algorithms are not transparent. The evidence of filter bubbles and echo chambers and on their impact is inconclusive. Collaboration could be encouraged between digital platform and news media to develop and refine a technology that serves both parties' interest as well as the interest of consumers and citizens. Next slide, please. Next. Quality in news and journalistic content driven by a shared professional identity and journalistic values. The news industry has maintained a range of accountability instruments, including industry codes of ethics and journalistic norms and practices. The contemporary media environment has introduced new challenges to maintaining of journalistic quality. The 24/7 news cycle algorithm, the blogosphere for news consumers, this represents a new information asymmetry. In response to escalating quality challenges, a number of online communities have assumed the role of news media watchdog, fact checker, and critic. Indicator of journalistic quality can be grouped under three sets of criteria: content indicator, organizational indicator, and the audience engagement indicator. The current regulatory framework for the news media is fragmented. There are ways in which digital platforms as participant within the broader social framework for news media could help maintain journalism accountability schemes. Next slide, please.
So this is to inform you that you have 2 minutes left for your presentation.
Okay, only 2 slides are left. I will finish. Oh, sure. Choice and diversity. Choice is competition's law has a close parallel in media regulation, where availability is a measure of media diversity as a framework for assessing the digital media environment. Media diversity can account for the public function of journalism. Media regulation in India takes a narrow approach to diversity based on availability of traditional media while omitting all online news, pay TV, and public media. Internationally, there is no consensus on the most suitable term for regulation, but the more targeted concept of media plurality used in the UK is likely to be more suitable for application in India than the expensive concept of media pluralism used in the European Union. Even these recent attempts at measuring plurality or pluralism have only limited success in accounting for the impact of there is the conclusion is there is conflicting evidence on the overall impact of digital platform on news and journalistic content. It appears some negative effects such as shorter, more emotive content can be attributed to platforms. Other like pressure of the 24/7 news cycle are largely an aspect of digitization. Two aspects present a specific future risk: sudden algorithm change, which can severely disrupt conditions under which news is produced, and the potential devolution of journalism through extractive summaries. Digital platform can now be regarded as a key participants within the broader framework for news media. They may not be publisher, but their role as distributor is increasingly hybrid in nature. As participant within this news media framework, digital platform have a responsibility not to harm the public benefit provided by news and journalistic content. There may also be ways to promote it. Thank you. Next slide.
So your time limit for 8 minutes is up, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Anureka ma'am, if you have any comments or questions to ask, you can ask now.
Did you notice any leadership change after the shift of traditional to digital platform, or is it
Yes,
a
ma'am.
new
There is,
content or the same
and
user using both?
no, there is a shift in readership in the Corona period when there was a lockdown and the paper was not published. At that time, there was a big shift in the readership. The readers, which were usually earlier, they were reading the newspapers in hard copies. They also shifted to the soft copies or the PDF format. And the young users, they are more use the digital technologies like smartphones and that they are prefer the soft copies. Yes, ma'am. There is a shift in the young user. They are using this technology. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next presenter, Ms. Soumya P. She's a research scholar from the Department of Visual Communication in the Mother Teresa University. On to Ms. Soumya.
Good morning, all. I think I'm audible to everybody here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yeah, ma'am.
ma'am, you have sent us a video. Do you want us to play it, or do you have a PPT for yourself?
Ma'am.
Ma'am, we received.
That is actually a presentation, ma'am. I have converted. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, ma'am. You can play the video, ma'am, or I also have another video to play. Can I also do that, ma'am?
You can present your PPT as well, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. That's not a PPT. That's also a video format where I'll do it in a PPT manner of it.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Will do you want to present, or do you want us to present?
Can I do it, ma'am?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Just a minute, ma'am. I'll just share the screen.
இல்ல மேடம் இன்னைக்கு அப்ளிகேஷன் எப்படி போட முடியாது மேடம் எல்லாமே க்ளோஸ்ட் கிளம்புங்க நீங்க தயவுசெய்து ஓகே
I hope my screen is visible to you all.
No, ma'am.
No, just a minute, ma'am.
ஓகே ஓகே சரி நான் வந்துட்டேன் காலேஜில் தான் அதை வச்சிருக்கேன் நான் செக் பண்ண நேத்தே கால் பண்ணிருக்கேன் ஓகே
Ma'am, is my screen visible now, ma'am? It shows that I am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sharing the screen, ma'am. Yeah,
Yes.
ma'am. Yeah. So, the topic that I have chosen for the paper is, just a minute, ma'am. Yeah, the impact on the usage of an animated character as an educational tool in classroom for primary school students in Chennai. So this will be my research topic here. And why do I choose this topic? Because nowadays, many of or in any interactive medium that is being useful to us. So that way, I wanted to insert a animation. I want character to be predominantly being talking about what is the concept all about, and my keyword of the abstract will be primary school students, animated character, educational tool, and a classroom. And my aim of animated videos as an educational tool for the primary school students. So this will be the aim of my paper here, and the methodology that I have taken is, or the objective I have used is to find out the impact of animated videos on the primary school students, and the second one is to find out the impact of animated character on primary schools and to find out the adoptability of animated characters as a learning aid for a primary schools. And I have also added few animations here and there so that it will grab their attention here. And the methodology that I have used here is to quantitative and qualitative methodology. In quantitative, I have done a survey method where I have posted close-ended and open-ended questions to the students. And I also had a small focus group discussion for the kids over here. And the thing is, I have created 2 videos where one video was downloaded from YouTube and the other video was created by my team over here. So what we did is we played the video for a multi-class students, like in my target group where first standard, second standard, third standard and fifth standard kids. So we played the same video for all the 4 classes and we just observed what was the reaction or what was the attention was the given, was the taken from the student here, where every time when I play a new video to them, they were very excited to see the video, and ultimately they can also start recalling what was there on the video. Like we played the video for one class and then we gave them a break of 1 or 2 hours in between. And then we gathered the same group of people again and we started asking questions related to the video, saying what is the functions of brain, or what did the animated character was talking about, or what are the internal body parts are there in a human body, or what is the role of heart was doing. All these questions were posted to the to the students, and they were able to answer even with a good period of time in between. And another method was we have separated them into small groups, and then we just asked them to talk about what did they really like about the videos, or what did they learn about the videos. And most of the students were able to tell what has taken from the video to the students. In this research paper, I have used 2 theories. One is uses and gratification theory, and another one is magic bullet theory, wherein when a class of 50, where all the 50 will not be involved in studying or will not be interested in studying, like some might be a little bored about the subjects. So for them and all, we used the magic bullet theory. Without even their knowledge, we gave them many informations about a simple and the complex character over here. Ma'am, can I proceed, right?
Yes, ma'am. You have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. I'm almost done. So like that, we have included this magic bullet and a user and gratification theory, where people had understood the main concept of it. And there are another video that we play dustbins. Like we have 3 color dustbins where red, green and blue were used, but then most of us will not use the main purpose of the dustbin. Like we don't separate our a wet waste and the dry waste separately, and we also have another waste like all the medical waste and all here. So we gave them a video which talks about 3 color dustbin, and each color will have one significant, and in each dustbin we have to put only these type of like wet waste has to be only dropped onto the green, and the dry waste should be dropped into a blue. So all that we were actually showing them in a video. And we also, as I told before, we also had a session for recollecting what 90% of the students were very sure about what should be dropped.
Your audio is breaking, ma'am.
Ma'am, your audio is breaking.
Sorry for the interruption. Just a minute. Yeah, so those things were the one that was being we were actually talking about with the students there. And when we come to the conclusion portion over here, so these are the images that we posted. Like I just want to give you an idea about what are the images, or what was the video was all about. So here, as you see, there is brain, which will talk about what and all the activity of the brain will do. Like that, we have done with 6 different internal body parts over here. And another slide is all about the just a minute. And another slide was usage of the dustbins over here. So these are the 3 dustbins, and we'll tell what and all should be dropped in one, and what and all, how is the garbage is utilized, is also spoke about in the video here. And in the conclusion portion here, so we observed and we also tested them with this. So I had 10 points to discuss. So the first point will be, the first point is the animation character was actually help them to understand the main character. And then the teacher has also told that this is very supportive for them to use it as a teaching aid for the student. And it grabs more attention, and it also gives them a good memory, and it also helps them to trust the information about what is shown into it. And when we use main characters over here, that also creates more attention to the students to watch what is being screened on that. And it also helps in teacher student relationship, was actually it can help them to be even more supportive. And it also helps, or it also enhance the thinking skills of the students here. And it also helped in recalling the character, and it improved the cognition of the student. And yeah, so these are the points that I wanted to discuss it over here. So these are the conclusion portion of the thing, of the research that I have done. And I have also inserted the video footage for this. Yeah, ma'am. So yeah, so there are 2 videos, one in Tamil dubbing and another one is in the English dubbing movie here. I mean the animated videos here.
Your time is up, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. I'll just stop it, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Anurika, ma'am.
Do any kind of pre-study prior to your research? To explain that comparatively, this is a methodology.
Ma'am, I did pre-study, ma'am, but then, yeah, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a pre-study, ma'am, with animations, ma'am. But then when I was going through a lot of articles, there were articles which is based on animated characters, ma'am, to emphasize more on animated characters. So that is the reason I wanted to do it with animated characters. Like initially I was in the plan of using cartoon characters, ma'am, like Ching Chang, Doraemon and all, which will give them more interest to view the images than a normal animation. But then more than that, then I just thought that when I'm going to do it with Ching Chang, students will only see Ching Chang and not the information. So I just wanted to do with another animated characters here, ma'am. So that is how I created Brain, all the things that was been created here, ma'am.
Okay, so it's more like an intervention study where you experimented with animated characters, right?
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to the next presenter, Ms. Gayatri Ashok. She's a research scholar from the Department of Visual Communication in the SRM University. On to Gayatri Ashok, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I Gayatri, research scholar from the Department of Visual Communication, SRM University. So I'm presenting a paper on social media influencer marketing on branding. So my key area. So the key area I have taken is advertising, influencer, and Instagram. Since Instagram has a more active follower, I have chosen Instagram as a main medium for research purpose. The objective of my study have taken is influencer being very successful and being a very credible source. And nowadays, like many people, or it's going to be an organization or any company, they use more of influencer marketing than traditional marketing. And also like marketing tools and marketing strategies such as influencer collaboration or coupon code or any other tricks and tags that they use to influence or persuade the audience. And the last is like what kind of lifestyle products this influencer get in tie up with a organization or a company to promote it. So to give a normal brief about it, social media is a vital platform where we get to communicate with the others. People use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn to share their knowledge and experience. Over the year, the growth of social media has increased comparatively to the previous year. So Web 2.0 introduced a platform called Instagram. So Instagram is the first medium in 2010, which was introduced both audiography and videography. So many people were able to post pictures as well as video format, whereas the Facebook didn't have this particular technology. So after invention of this particular medium, Instagram, we have something called influencer marketing, which is being very popular from 2015. So this influencer are a group of people or an individual person who has the highest follower. So this particular people build up a community. They do different kinds of blogging, such as food, lifestyle, travel, fashion. They either tie up or they have a collaboration with the company to promote the branding, or they come up with a product or a service kind of influencing or persuasion. Sometimes they also come up with the problem solving, such as customer service and etc. So what happens over here is many people who try to purchase a product. Okay, initially it is going to be the word of mouth, which has a very powerful medium, but now it's going to be a social media, because many people tend to use this social media platform, which is very costless when compared to the other medium, and people get a lot of information here, and people share their knowledge and experience over here. So out of the studies we have conducted, we came to know that every person, like from the age group of 18 to 32 years old, they spend 1.7 hours per day in the social media to know about the current information, and also about purchasing of the product or a service. So we have 28% of them are active users who rely on this Instagram influencer, whereas 75% of the person who consume this social media influencer decision in making a purchase decision. So in the research we conducted, we have active users this particular 2020, whereas Facebook has 1.94 billions of users, and YouTube has 1 billion, Instagram has 7 million, and LinkedIn has 106 million, Twitter has 3.3 million. So these are the highest active medium that is being used by the people. And in this we have come to know that 82% of the people, they use at least once in a week the social media, and 48% of the people use every day over here, and whereas 25% of the people use at least once in a year. So the methodology I have taken here is qualitative and quantitative, where I have used simple random sampling, and my target audience are 18 to 32 years. They are the most active participant, and they are the most active user in the Instagram. So the time period I have taken over here is for 1 month, and we have 250 participants who have given the valuable input to collect the data process. And the theoretical framework I have taken over here is the magic bullet theory, and also used in gratification theory. So in the research, we have come up with branding. So this influencer marketing have a tie-up or a collaboration with a particular branding to increase the output or to increase the demand of the particular product or a service. So what happens over here is we came up with a survey conducting what kind of a product or what kind of product or service that is being purchased through Instagram highly. With that, we have 52% of clothing, footwear is 28%, fashion is 32, fashion and accessories 32%, food is 2%, and travel is 18. So many people use a social media platform has the most highest medium to relay information on influencer. So with that, I conclude here, ma'am. Thank you.
Your focus was on influencer marketing, right? So what kind of influencers did you track?
Okay, so basically I approached a few influencers who are in lifestyle and fashion. So the main Instagram platform, as we conducted a survey, what kind of a product or a service is the consumer wanted, we came up to know about it's more of lifestyle product, and it's more of a clothing accessory. So based on that output, I've approached to the influencer who has been blogging or who has an influencer on this particular product like lifestyle.
So are you, I mean, did you able to track a particular influencer
Yes, ma'am. Miss Subiksha, she's a very famous social influencer. So I was able to connect with her to know about the inputs and what is the output she gain and how does an organization get connected with her, what and all benefit both of them have mutually, and how this is going to psychologically change the behavior of the audience to purchase or to promote or to have a collaboration with other products.
So that means they did have a say in kind of purchase behavior.
Yes, ma'am. So this
That
influencer
stated by the
plays a role
influencer.
in influencing the purchase intention of the consumers.
Any particular category?
More of lifestyle products, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next presenter for today is Mr. Akshay. He's an assistant professor in the Department of Visual Communication in the DG Vaishnav College. On to you, Mr. Akshay. Meanwhile, we request all the other participants to keep your mics muted. Thank you.
Mr. Akshay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just a second, ma'am. There's a technical glitch. Yes, ma'am.
I need to change my co-host.
So
Ask her not to change my.
good morning, everyone. There was a man who was inspired by Vittorio De Sica, and also was a man who was inspired by the exemplary characterization by Martin Scorsese of Taxi Driver, and he was inspired to write a number of papers. Now, I'm going to talk about the wonder kid of Bollywood and the one who changed Bollywood cinema once and for all. So he is Anurag Kashyap, and I have taken his 8 selected films and tried to do a qualitative analysis and try to deconstruct the film into various aspects. So before we start, I want to introduce him to most of the audience right now. So here he is a prominent offbeat Bollywood filmmaker. So offbeat in the sense he uses unconventional aspects of filmmaking, as well as the style and the characterization that has been done by him has been very different and unique from the contemporary and the different types of the usual type of Bollywood cinema, which has been going on and on. So here in the study, I wanted to deconstruct this film using in-depth content analysis and also with various aspects such as characterization, themes, dominant traits, and other technical aspects. So before we start off, I want to include the Archer theory, which was actually one of the theories which was promoted by the French critic and filmmaker Franco Truffaut, and he was the one who actually he started off using this came with this theory called Archer theory, which intends to say that the director is the author of the film. The sense author means that any authors, if you take, there's a particular style. Okay, so if you look at all the films of a particular person, most of the filmmakers doesn't have that, but certain filmmakers do have a certain style or a blueprint. So the Archer theory says that it's all about a distinct personality of the director is being replicated in his films. So I want to use the Archer theory here and try to bring out a blueprint or a structure or commonalities in all his 8 films, selected 8 films. So his style is always intriguing and is very dark and gritty. He comes, he uses a very unconventional style of filmmaking. And you can talk about the technical aspects as well as the characterization, where the emotions and the psyche of the characters has been very much explored in terms of the psychoanalysis as well. If you look at the characterization, the unconscious has been explored in a very different manner. So here there are different films in which the controversies are there because he tries to use it in a hard-hitting manner, and the society usually says no to those kind of films mostly. But he is not scared of that, and he wants to use a very different style. He wants to show the reality as such. He's not scared of filtering anything out of out of his films. So again, he uses disturbance. He wants to disturb the audience and shock the audience, and with violence, and also the emotional outbursts and various other characterizations. And you can also see there are similarities between Quentin Tarantino and Martin Scorsese, because he was inspired by Martin Scorsese with this film Taxi Driver. And so he has written so many films which has similarities between this Quentin Tarantino, especially in the use of violence and the execution of the shots. Now the films which are selected are the Punch, Black Friday, Gulal, No Smoking, Dave D, Gangs of Wasseypur Part 1 and 2, and That Girl in Yellow Boots. So you can see the methodology is qualitative analysis, and I have watched the films and deconstructed using various parameters such as characterization, running time, genre, psychological aspects of the film, overall setting of the film, dominant traits, and the theme. So rationale of the study is to find out the common strain of the basic pattern. So every film, if you look at, there is a recurring theme. There's a recurring trait in every film. So I wanted to find out a common trait in the blueprint. So first thing is, if you look at genre, most of his films, he's not using specific genre, but again, there is a sense of film form such as film noir, German expressionism has been used in most of his films, even though they are of romance or action or crime, whatever it is, various traits of this film form has been used, and the thriller aspect is very much there. You can look at the emotional outbursts.
There has been a power issue in the meeting. Please stay tuned. We will continue with the presentation. Once again, I request all the participants to keep their mics muted.
Yes. So if you look at the backdrop of the story, if you can see all these elements has been used or shot in the various urban style as well as in rural style. And you can see the characterizations which has very particular aspects, because there has been a form, there has been a trait which is the femme fatale, which is a very common trait in film noir. Okay, very common trait in film noir, and this is where the female characters, characters have been used to manipulate the male character. So most of his films has this femme fatale character, and you can see the male are mostly carefree and they are violent. The violence has been used in most of his characterization, and you have in female they use seductiveness, and they use, because femme fatale is one character in all the film noir film form where the characters used to seduce the male character and make them fall for the doom. And you can see these characters, you can see that in most of his characters like this, you can see they're violent and they are different from the society. What the society wants him to do, he won't be doing that. In the sense, the characters won't be doing that. They are breaking away from the form. This is where you can talk about the traits, such as the crucial aspects, such as the emotional outburst, because most of the emotional outburst is the reason for the characters to do, various crimes, and and they get into various troubles, and consequences have been faced because of this emotional traits. And also look at this aspects such as trauma, okay, and character exploitation that has also been used in his films. Now, in psychological abnormalities, the various disorders, mainly what I feel is that there is this personality disorders, like most of them will be having antisocial disorders, and also you can see narcissism, and all these, there is depression in some terms. So you can see all these characters will be having a major flaw, such as these various psychological abnormalities, and also substance abuse. In most of his films, I would say 7 out of 8 films, you can see there is substance abuse, and this substance abuse is directly related to the crimes and the consequence that he has to face, because most of them are addicted to certain narcotic drugs or alcohol or smoking or whatever, and these are intended to push the story forward. And you can see treatment execution, you can see the style, the visual style is very dark, and you can see in the film No Smoking, he has used surrealism, where the settings and this environment is completely out of the ordinary. And you can see German expressionism style of patterns and color style, etc. So he knows what he's doing. He knows that he needs to take in various elements from other film forms to make his film, look different and unique. And also violent content, yes, this is where he's likened to Quentin Tarantino. This is where he uses the characters to use violence as a major driving force. You can see by using hand assaults, and you can see weapons and even knives. All the characters are intended to use these weapons in order to move the story forward, and they do not hold back. That is the main thing. The character doesn't have a sense of a mercy, or there is no such thing as sympathy, nothing. They just want to move, they just want to do what they want. And finally, that is what you can see in most of his films. There has been a sense of their structure, and there is a similar characterization. There is similar usage of emotional and substance abuse and exploitation. If you look at characterization as well, there has been a lot of manipulative characters, and you have femme fatale. So you can see that there is a pattern, and I have identified that he's an archer. So in terms that all his films has certain elements that is recurring, and there's a blueprint. So thank you so much. He is again a pioneer. He's not scared of anything. He's a very bold and gritty filmmaker, and he's also one inspiration for me. So thank you so much. So if there's any question, please do let me know.
Good attempt of analysis, to doing an auteur analysis and doing a comparative study with Tarantino, Scorsese, and
Scorsese, yes,
how many films did you identify?
I've taken 8 films, ma'am. 8.
Okay.
Yes,
No.
ma'am. More, but I've taken 8 films which had certain aspects, because that was very evident in his 8 films. Because most after that there was this commercialization, like Bombay Velvet and all. So I didn't take that. So these films intrigued me personally. That is why I took these films, ma'am.
Fine, ma. Fairly a good job, ma. Very good.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So, moving on to our next presenter, Mr. Shankar. He is an assistant professor from the Department of Visual Communication in the DGVC College. On to you, Mr. Shankar.
Hello, I'm Shankar. I have done the research on the role of Am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So I have done the research on role of television advertisement on encouraging Western lifestyle among college students. So in general, advertisements announce the existence of a product to the target audience through mass media like print, radio, television, and media. Television advertisements being an audio visual, it exhibits lifestyle. So each and everything, including clothing, fashion, food, media, and tradition, has been affected by the advent of Western culture. The lifestyle is the population's choice of recreation, clothing, and consumption of goods. Advertising crosses national boundaries due to the globalization and by communicating about all the products all around. So the hypothesis being international brands advertisements encourage the students to buy two brands. Students prefer Western clothing and styling products. They shift to Western brands after watching television advertisements. Students buy Western products because of prestige, price, peer pressure, brand identity, endorsement, attractive advertisement, reliability, and being ideal. Students regret lack of money for not buying a Western product. So the theory we have used is social learning theory. So individuals learn or model behavior, values, attitudes, and skill through the observation from other individuals or through the observation of any other medium. The theory suggests that a lot of learning happens through observation. So the relation between our topic and social learning theory, when it comes to the television, according to social learning theory, students learn from the television and demonstrate a product. Endorsement by favorite actors attract students. Young college-going students tend to follow the modeling by the actors and buy the products in the idea of becoming like them. Trends on the dressing and fashion are also taken from television advertisement and followed by college-going students. So the methodology which we have used is quantitative survey method, and the target group, age group were 17 to 22. They were all undergraduate college-going students. The sampling has been taken from undergraduate students. Those are in arts and science colleges from 3 different cities, Chennai, Nagarkoil, and Trichy. So from each city, we have chosen 2 colleges. From each college, where 50 students were taken, out of which 25 were male students and 35 were female students. So total of 6 colleges, and we had nearly 150 female students and 150 male students, and in total of 300 students. So, instrument of data collection was questionnaire. The questionnaire had 32 questions, which had close to 100 options. So there is no either changes in the answers. So most of the students, like 80% of the students, falls into the age category of 18 to 22. Nearly 55% of the students' family income falls under ₹40,000. So most of the students came across television advertisement. Most of the students said they came across advertisement very few times, but other than that, most of them had come across advertisements. And there are certain scenarios like few people like watching television advertisement, and there were few others they didn't enjoy watching advertisement much. So there are few of the products they like to watch. Most of the time, when the product is somewhere introduced to their lifestyle, they are very much interested in watching those product advertisements. So these are the data regarding whether they will try a new brand. So most of the students, they are interested in trying a new brand. And along with that, the purchasing of advertising product. So few of the students were saying they will be trying out new products and purchase it. So models encouraging purchase. So a human element in the advertisement as a model or an actor influence the students to try out those products, because students try that if they use the product or use the service, they will be something like that. So then shifting to brands, most of the students said they will be shifting to the brands. And one of the major findings was most of the students were regretting their lack of money for not buying foreign products. So finding regarding international brand advertisement encourage the students to buy new brands. So most of the international brands advertise in a certain way to persuade the students to try their product. And most of the students said shifting from a brand to another brand, they watch the advertisement. If the advertisement show the advantageous side of their product, the students are interested in shifting the brands. And most of the students prefer Western clothing, and along with that, they also prefer Western styling products. So students shifting to Western brands after watching television advertisements. So most of the students get to know about different products through television advertisement, and based on the model or the actor presenting the product, they try those products. The factor being the advertisement persuade the students who watch them very often to try new products. So students take pride in buying products. This is one of the findings. And second thing being, students buy Western products as friends buy and use them. So friends has a major influence on the students. There are students who buy products based on brand identity. So if someone uses a product and the brand was visible advertisement which show the advantageous side of the product, help the students in buying those products. And when the reliability of the product was shown in the advertisement, it is well presented. Western products being costlier than the Indian products, and when there is a lack of money to afford those things, students regretted those things. Where television advertisement communicate the existence of new brands and consumer products. Television ads impact the young audience to get into Western lifestyle. Students identify their friends with similar products. Brand identity for Western consumer product is considered as of high status. The youngsters with affordability get to identify themselves as consumers of the trendy fashion brands. So the conclusion is Western product advertisement encourages students to try new brands, shift to Western brands. Students buy Western products because of prestige, price, peer pressure, brand identity, endorsement, attractive advertisement, reliability, and the ideal thing. Students regret lack of money for not buying Western products. College-going students get influenced by television advertisement. They tend to learn from various television advertisement about the different variable products and choose the most attractively presented products if they can afford. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Dr. Anureka?
You had any particular mention of brands in your questionnaire? How did you compare with, I mean, which ad and how did the influence happen?
Yes, like we were choosing only 50 students from each college, like 30 female students and 30 female students. We are able to explain them in person while giving the questionnaire.
No, but did you compare it with a particular ad, particular brand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Like the frequency of television advertisement on Western products are higher these days. So it was easily able to explain it to the students now.
So it's not direct comparison with any particular brand. They watch the ad of a particular product category and particular brand.
No, ma'am, because we did it in 3 cities. So the frequency of watching the same advertisement is very less, ma'am. Because depending upon the channel they are using, they might expose to different kind of advertisements. So we have only
any particular brand and got influence, and the purchase behavior was not attached to any particular ads.
Yeah, most of the time, if they need a product and they are in very much need, they don't tend to look after the options which are available. Like whichever the friends are suggesting, they are getting it. Other than that, if they are having an idea of needing a product or buying a product for some other time, some product is in their head, like clothing or something, they are not in any urgency to try a new clothing or new styling. So when they are in the thinking phase, they expose to those advertisement and they get influenced because of it.
It's more like a trigger.
Yeah, more like a trigger, mostly with electronic gadgets and all that. Because even there are smartphones, it starts from the base variants, but due to the brand identity by their friends and all, they are getting influenced to Western products.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And our final presenter for today is Ms. Nandini. She is an assistant professor in the Department of Visual Communication in DGVC College. On to you, Ms. Nandini.
Thank you. Am I audible? I hope I'm audible. I am presenting on behalf of Mr. Chandramouli, who is an assistant professor in Vistas. The topic of my research, our research, is relevance and effectiveness of social media, a digital revolution of commoners. Objectives of the research is to claim the positive side of social media with relevant instances from the present time, to focus on the significance of social media in the contemporary era, to contradict the gatekeeping theory of the mainstream media as the social media turns out to sensationalize any news by trending in its networks, which causes the news filtering process of the mainstream culture. And the last objective, which is highlighting a very few real instances from Twitter. As we all know, social media enables immediate communication. It is accessible through everybody, and it provides a virtual interaction across the globe, and it shattered the bias in the society, and it gave everybody a voice, or everybody a button to protest. In the current scenario, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram are used as an official forum to interact, among which Instagram being very, very common and famous among the youngsters, Twitter being a mixed form of interaction where when compared to Instagram or Twitter, people prefer Twitter to be more reliable than Instagram, and people, representatives like the chief minister, ministers, MLAs, councillors, government officials, IAS, IPS officers have their own media accounts to post or update any activities and the schedules. The review of literature, we have chosen 4 reviews which highlights the impact of social media on the society by Jyoti Suraj, social media and its impact with positive and negative aspects by Tajinder Singh, the effect of social media on society, and a study on the positive and negative effects of social media on society by R. Kumar. So these are a few instances where we found these are like random incidences which happen and which are posted by commoners in the digital platform, where it was picked up by government officials to look into. So a student belonging to Pondicherry on the pen name under the username Dravidian99, on behalf of the students group, they asked for a second dose prior for COVID vaccination, and he thanked Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan, who is the Lieutenant Governor, through Twitter, and an office memorandum was immediately issued in order to reduce the time of the interval doses. As you can see, the screenshots of the post. The second is the requisition to TNEB Under the name APJ Dravidian, he requests a sudden upsurge of electricity bills and tags B. Senthil Balaji, Electricity Board Minister, to address the issue. He stated that I have been paying 500, 800,000 as electricity bill, but last time I had to pay 4,000 and 9,000 in the present billing. So he has requested the Prime Minister to give a solution for the same, which the Minister taken up by prompt action by setting up the theme. Discrimination of a fishmonger in Collegial. I think this became an issue in social media. I hope a few of you can highlight this, because in Collegial, Kanyakumari district, an elderly fishmonger woman was deboarded from a government bus by its conductor and the driver. They sat her down because she had a fish odor. And the video, it was recorded and uploaded in social media, and it's reached the Chief Minister as well. So the Deputy Director of Tamil Nadu Transport Department, he meets the lady in person and expresses his regret. And request for cement road. Pargunan resides in Kumar Reddyappuram in Sattur in Virudhunagar district, and he tags the collector and ensures a request to lay cement roads on the streets. An immediate response takes place in the media as a real-time advanced problem, and this incident reinstates the importance of social media being a powerful tool to a common man to create massive responses across the country. And the MSME loan offense, Sriram S. tweets his frustration over the unsanctioned loan under the scheme and tags the district collector for the same. So the media again plays a significant role in restoring the humanity and justice by attending his issue. So the problem, the whole point of this research is these are only a few among many instances, many posts like this. And right now the government across the country, they have initiated this to acknowledge the social media platforms as well, to pick up commoners issue. And the gatekeeping is a process, as we all know. Gatekeeping is a process of mainstream journalism which filters the news, and only then the audience are able to hear it. And this method is strictly followed in the print media and television news, which is filtered by the social media right now, because there is a bridge between the commoners like us, the citizens, and the officials, and it is much more faster right now. And any news that is honest, receives justice through billions of responses flooded in social media. And like a ration shop problem can also be addressed in the social media. And these responsible replies from these higher officials are the success of the commoners, and it's a success to the social media, which we are highlighting the positive effects of social media. So the conclusion is, from all these examples from Twitter, social media is an effective tool to address the need for commoners' justice. The higher authorities of the country are easily approached to social media. For instance, a schoolboy named Abdul Kalam gets special appreciation from the Education Minister and the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu for talking about the society that should be casteless. And this article highlights the idea of social media that works in a positive manner, and how social media being a positive side, a bridge for the common people and the officials. Thank you.
I'm happy you could able to identify a few citations to indicate the power of social media. How do you think we can combat fake news happening equally?
Ma'am, fake news is again another aspect. What if, okay, my question was,
how do we know, how do the laymen know difference between the real news and fake news?
The laymen do not know real news, and laymen usually addresses something which of personal interest, which they are it affects something that affects directly to them. So the layman will only, like in the Twitter or the post which we took, everything was related to a personal problem which was experienced by the person themselves. So upon this, fake news does not apply. But though
you have selected it in a particular way, but then the selection again, not everybody can make it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, ma'am. Because identifying fake news is not a very easy task. as we all know, because a few days before we had a discussion on content consumption and content creation, so which raises a question about fake news and how to identify it. I think social media itself and a forum could be created to fact check, but that could be of again an irony, because social media being everybody's tool, and there's somebody who's monitoring it.
But there should be in vigilance, I think.
Yes, ma'am. But although it will become an irony if somebody is monitoring it, but what if all the information that is not, if it is not passed through, so that becomes a problem over the period of time when it is being practiced. So I
So
think
what happens now when you do study of this kind, it is always better to do both.
yes,
Depict both sides of what is happening. So you
absolutely.
could have given a citation of few fake news which has been identified and rectified. That would serve a better purpose.
Understood. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Now, before moving on to the online validation, we have a break of 5 minutes for the chief guest and the panelists to join. Thank you. I request everyone to stay online for and take a break of 5 minutes, following up which we will start the online validation. We will be sending you the feedback link shortly. Good afternoon, one and all. We welcome you all to the online validation. So, as today is Cinema Day, our students of visual communication have prepared a small AV, giving a tribute to it. So, we like to present it now to everyone.
Madam, join button. Secretary join button. Secretary. It is audible? Yes.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir. You are audible. You are audible.
Now I would like to welcome our head of the department, Ms. Vasan Gopal, to give the welcome address.
Hello. Good noon to everybody on board. I deem it a great pleasure to welcome each and every one of you for the National Conference on Media and Communication. I welcome Dr. G. Ravindran, Professor and Head of the Department of Communication and Dean School of Communication, Central University of Tamil Nadu, He has always been a pillar of support for all our academic activities till date. I welcome you, sir. I welcome Dr. S. Anurekha, Dr. Jenin Raj, Dr. Hanif, Ms. Deborah for joining us as panelists in these 2 days. I would be failing in my duty if I do not express my gratitude to our beloved Secretary, Sri Ashok Kumar Mundra, sir, for his constant guidance and motivation. I welcome you, sir. I welcome our respected principal, Captain Dr. Santosh Babu, sir. He has always extended his support for all the department activities. I once again welcome all the participants who have been active for the past 2 days presenting papers, and the research scholars who have put in a lot of effort in presenting papers during these 2 days of the conference. I welcome once again everyone present here, and I hope you had a very, very fruitful event for the past 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request our Honorable Principal, Captain Dr. S. Santosh Babu, sir, to give the presidential address.
Good afternoon to one and all present for this today's 2 days national conference. I am very happy to note that Department of Visual Communication is conducting this 2 days conference successfully, where we are able to rope in a leading members to this, especially our professor like Ravindran Gopalan, who is the professor at the University of Madras and also is a very good friend of mine, where his contribution in the field of journalism is remarkable. Getting a person like this for Dwarakadas Gorandas Vaishnav College for the seminar itself is a very big job. I like to thank the HOD of Viscom department, Professor Vasant, for fixing him as a chief guest for today's validating function. Where you know very well that the media plays an important role in all aspects, whether it is education or whether it is film industry or whether it is hospital industries, whatever may be, the media plays an important role. Previously, we used to have a media only as a news channels, but now it is not like that. The media now turned as a scientific channels, like it describes about some findings, it describes about the patterns, and also it describes about the social behavior of the people, and also it acts as a teaching learning process platform during the COVID, through this system only, where the media people have helped other department to do lot of recording works in aspects of conducting lecture series and online courses. For all these things, the media people have helped a lot in the society. And now what happened is, each and everyone, every faculty started knowing about the usage of tools available in the media for presentation. The conference like this will help the scholars and also the students of Dwarakadas Gorandas Vaishnav College to know about the latest invention in the field of media in terms of editing, recording, and other things. And also content writing and content creating is a very important work for the people, where quality content for the media in the present scenario is very less, where our Dwarakadas Gorandas Vaishnav College is having a very sophisticated media department in which we are training our students in order to create a content and also to learn about the various softwares like Maya and other editing software. So with this, and also the experts like Ravindran also is doing a AMN service at Thiruvarur University, at Tamil Nadu University at Thiruvarur, where he is taking the media science to the rural area. That is also very important, where the down south is the Thiruvarur, where he is able to deliver a content for them. Like that in Chennai city, with the help of the HOD Vasant and other faculty members, Dwarakadas Gorandas Vaishnav College is able to create a good platform for the media students. And also once again, I like to congratulate the whole team involved in this today's conference. I'm happy to be part of this conference for the 2 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I now request our secretary, Shri Ashok Kumar Mundra, to say a few words about the conference.
And also I thank the secretary for giving the opportunity for the department to do this conference. Thank you.
Good morning and Jai Shri Krishna to one and all. I think I'm audible. Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good
Yes,
morning and Jai Shri Krishna to one and all. This national conference has brought in very good line of thinking as far as our students are concerned about fake news and real news and so many other topics that has been taken up today. And I hope that this will go a long way. And definitely with Mr. Ravindran Gopalan here as our chief guest today, we will be benefited a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Requesting the panel members to say a few words about the session. First, we have Dr. Anureka ma'am.
Very good afternoon to all the esteemed people present here. Special good afternoon to Ravindran sir. So first of all, congratulations to Department of Visual Communication, Vasant and team for this beautiful 2-day national conference on media and communication. You could rope in with a lot of colleges and universities. I could see a lot of enthusiastic participants. I was there. I was here chairing new media, digital media as a chairperson. Around 13 participants were there as part of my session. Special mention should be made to a few of the male participants who took boldly the representation of women. Mr. Vijay Srinivasan and Santosh Nityarajan, because in this still male-dominated world, somebody could take particularly a representation of women in the forum of this kind is very nice and appreciated. One thing which I found common among all the presenters is they all did a very beautiful job in terms of taking up a topic and doing a detailed analysis. Couple of them didn't go to the extent of doing a systematic research. Probably they didn't have time, or they didn't have time to put it on slide, or I don't know. Always for a good presentation, you need to have your objectives, methodology, and finding slides as a compulsory slide. Because unless you tell us the focus of your study, we will not be able to ascertain whether your methodology was right or whether your finding was in line with whatever found. That was just a comment I wanted to mention. But otherwise, all the participants, I could see, they could put enormous effort in making, they could went about collecting 250 sample, 200 sample, all that in a very short span of time is something very nice to hear about. Only thing is bit more concentration on systematic presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next panel member is Miss Deborah.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Hello. Yeah. A very good afternoon to all of you present here. First of all, let me thank you for the opportunity given today and yesterday. Thankful to Vasant ma'am and DGVC College for the opportunity given. The 2 days was a power-packed session, and especially the panel that I handled on social media and all that. It was nice to know that people, usually they say that, with the internet age and with social media, we get a lot of information, and just at in a click of a button, we get enough information, and there is nothing to research upon, is the mindset of so many people. But then as you delve into social media, or as you delve into the so-called online medium, we see that yes, we do get a lot of information, but at the same time, there is a lot to research upon. And with the analysis, the marketing trends that has ever been evolutionizing at a rapid rate every day. As you see, new things are born in social media, and for us to catch up in social media it's become a huge task, I should say. And you know, the topics that were dealt yesterday with digital journalism, effectiveness of social media, revolution among the commoners, and the negative and the positive impact of social media among students in our own field. There is so much of research that is still pending, that is still needed among the social media forum, because you know, we fail to analyze what people around go through when they are into social media, the effects of social media. The social media itself is dissected into so many segments. Social media is a huge umbrella where all of us should know that it contains Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and so many professional. You have professional sites to deal with, and all that. So I urge everybody to do a neat analysis on what is really needed right now. Right now you should and you know, we all know that qualitative itself has evolved at a greater pace, where there is a structuralization of content analysis in itself by using various software. I urge that you use these softwares like NVivo and all that to analyze content analysis in a very neat way, because there are so many things that are unearthed in this process, and I congratulate each one of the participants for doing a neat work in yesterday's and today's presentation. So I wish each and everybody all the best. Keep researching, keep doing what you do, because everything at one point of time you'll have to realize that everything needs research. Research cannot be obsolete at all. At one point of time, one person might research on something. 1 year down the line, again, you might research on the same thing, but that might give you a totally new perspective altogether. So there is nothing as good research or a bad research. It's a learning process. And I encourage each one of you to do or continue what you are doing right now. So all the best to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I would like to welcome our chief guest of the day, Dr. Gopalan Ravindran. He has worked as a professor and head of the Department of Journalism and Communication in the University of Madras, Chennai from 2008 to 2020. He is popularly known for receiving the Visiting Research Fellowship from the National Museum of Ethnology in Osaka, Japan in the year 2020. He was a reader in the Department of Communication in the Manonmaniyam Sundaranath University, Tirunelveli in 2008. He also served as the head of the department during 1996 to 2002. From 2002 to 2005, he worked as a lecturer in Film and Broadcasting, School of Communication, University Sains Malaysia in Palau, Penang, Malaysia. Dr. Ravindran also received a visiting fellowship from the Department of International Communication of the Nagoya University in Japan, and also worked as a lecturer in the Department of Journalism and Communication of the University of Madras, Chennai, India, during 1984 to 1989. Mr. Ravindran was awarded the Aravanar Achievement Award in the year 2016 by the Aravanar Research Foundation. He was also awarded the Academic Achievement Award in 2012 by the University of Madras. He also won the Best Paper Award at Vitar the Orient, Asians in Asian and Non-Asian Cinema and the Asia Culture Forum in South Korea in the year 2006. Dr. Ravindran served as the member of the UGC Expert Committee, member of the Faculty Selection Board, member of the Board of Studies in several universities across the country. His areas of research interests include critical theories and philosophies, political economy of journalism and communication, spatiality, temporality, and materiality of communication, critical pedagogies in journalism and communication, film cultures, digital cultures, diasporic cultures, etc. Sir has guided 10 PhD candidates and enabled them to complete their work, and 8 candidates are presently working under his supervision for their doctoral research. He was a producer and a content director in documentary films named Ruins, Close Your Eyes, and Anna. Dr. Ravindran was a co-founder of Subaltern Media, an academic collective to promote subaltern media studies, was founded along with Kishore Buddha of Leeds University, UK. In 2007, Ravindran sir started the first online classes using Facebook for students of film studies, Tamil journalism, critical theories and philosophies, news writing and editing, mobile phone communication, and digital cultures. Sir has also started the Innovative Research Series, Media and Society Seminar Series in the University of Madras to promote exchange of ideas between young scholars and leading Indian and foreign scholars in 2008. More than 100 seminars have been conducted so far. Sir has delivered more than 100 seminars over the years in different aspects of media and communication. Dr. Ravindran has academically contributed at a larger scale across the world and fondly loved by his students and his peers. It's an honor to have his presence for our national conference. Sir, we welcome you to our event today. Thank you. Now I request our beloved chief guest, Mr. Gopal Ravindran, to kindly address the gathering.
Thank you. Once again, I am delighted to share the space with the principal of DGVC College, Captain Santosh Babu, who has been a good friend and a colleague for a long time. I thank him for this opportunity. I also thank the secretary for supporting the Department of Visual Communication at DGVC College. Importantly, I thank my dear colleague, Dr. Vasant, for this kind invitation. I'm very happy to see and hear about the growth of the department under the guidance and leadership of Dr. Vasant. What I appreciate in her is she has been a good organizer of events such as this one. I attended the last major conference organized by the department, I think before COVID. That was a well-rounded success. I appreciate her for these continuing efforts. And I find I'm also delighted to see dear colleagues, Dr. Anureka, here in this conference. And I wish all of you a very bright future and interesting journeys in our field of communication. I find that the topic of the conference a curious one. And I thank Dr. Vasant for this, as it makes my task today both interesting and challenging. I would leave for the audience, as it is a valedictory function. I am sure I could not attend all the sessions. I had the opportunity to listen to some of the papers chaired by Dr. Anureka. I'm very appreciative of the attempts of these young scholars. We have a long way to go in India in terms of communication research, communication studies. And these efforts are surely going to make a big difference in the coming days. And I'm sure with the guidance of Captain Dr. Santosh Babu and Secretary, this department will provide many more opportunities for young scholars in our region. Quickly, I think I'm given something like 10 to 15 minutes time. So within this time, I will share my thoughts on this curious topic of the today conference. It is an interesting and challenging topic, in my opinion, because normally we have very thematic conference titles. Okay, here we have a title that challenges me particularly from different sides to rethink what is media and what is communication. This is much more challenging than talking in a conference which gets you a theme like communication and development, social change and social media, something like that. So here you are not given any themes by the title. So the title is a very deceptive one, and deceptive titles are intellectual ones also. They are providing more challenges, not only to the participants, but for outsiders like me, okay, who are not presenting papers here. So let me share with you some of my thoughts. If the sharing option can be enabled, I will share my PPT so that you can understand. My point is very simple. I said this is a challenging context. How to give you a valedictory address in your conference or seminar, and that has no theme. Okay, that wants you to focus only on media and communication. And titles are very fascinating to me, whether it is a title of your book or title of your film or title of anything. It is fascinating to me personally, not because of the adequacies, because of the inadequacies. Titles become fascinating, titles become challenging, not because of their adequacies, not because they are well-rounded. Only if they are inadequate, within quotes, we can learn from the titles. We can work within the titles. Inadequacies are about, in the dictionary meaning of in the context of the dictionary meaning, inadequacies are about limitations. Limitations have been dealt with by great scholars like Rudolf Arnheim. Unfortunately, we don't teach them in India in communication departments. That's one problem. So this may seem foreign to many of you, but I urge the young scholars here to familiarize themselves with these names, at least, even if they are not going to read all their works. So Rudolf Arnheim was a German philosopher and scholar who gets us the first best introductions to
sorry to interrupt, sir.
And yes,
I've made you the co-host, sir. So in case you want to present anything, you can do it now, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
Sir, we have enabled the screen share, sir. You can screen share your presentation.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
You have been a co-host. Yes, sir.
Thank you. One moment. Okay. Just one moment. Okay. Zoom is saying something else. Okay. I don't want to spend time on that. Okay, I was telling you about Rudolf Arnheim's first best introduction to
Sir, sir, sorry to interrupt you. You can try now because it was off on multiple sharing. It was off. I have changed the setting.
Okay, ma. I'll try now.
Yeah. Sorry.
Can you see Vasant?
Yes, I can see it, sir. We can see the screen.
Okay. Thank you. Vasant, can I go on for 10-15 minutes?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Please take your time.
Okay. Thank you, ma. So I thought this topic fits well with the title of the event. Okay. So I'm only taking two highlighted words, communication and media, which are also in the title of the event today. But I'm only adding few more terms here. One is the term problematics. Second is understanding. Third is I'm bringing in a scholar to help me to understand what is this communication and media. So it has been, I think, more than 40 years since I entered this domain. And why should I understand something like communication and media, with which I have been engaging first as a student, later as a researcher, later as a teacher, etc. So it's a debatable point. Philosophically, one might say that journeys are of two kinds, as Buddha said. One is a complete journey, another is an incomplete journey. And in 99% of the cases, the journeys undertaken by human beings cannot be completed. So I'm also into a journey of understanding communication and media for the past 40 years. And I'm not sure that I will complete this journey in my lifetime, okay? Because there is so much we don't know. We are still stuck in the stage of understanding. So as I often say, the more you know, you get a feeling that you know very little, okay? So that's why this task of understanding remains very challenging to me also. So this is just a small attempt to work with one scholar I respect very much from North America, that is James Carey. North American tradition has been a boon and bane, in my opinion. Okay, in this two-day event also, we had many papers using these North American approaches, uses and gratification, cultivation, so many other things. Not only in this event, but also in many other events. Okay, so that is critiqued by me with the help of a North American scholar I respect, that is James Carey. Quickly, my second question is, what is right and wrong with understanding media and our communication? Okay, understanding media became popular with Marshall McLuhan's book titled Understanding Media during 60s. So this logic of understanding media was later critiqued by many scholars after the death of McLuhan. Okay, so these scholars include importantly, one German media theorist, Friedrich Kittler, who was a very severe critic of McLuhan, who said that media cannot be understood in terms of what is inside them. Okay, so this logic was later problematized by those scholars who are working in the famous MIT lab, who get us this new term of media studies. So there are two tracks of media studies, or three tracks of media studies in the world today. So one track was given by the cultural studies approach. So it originated in UK. The second track became popular during 1996 when the MIT's then famous scholar Negroponte came out with a book on being digital. Okay, so we have a new track of media studies thanks to it. And in countries like India, where you have a very strong film industry, okay, a television industry, you have a track inspired by industrial practices and conventions, such as the visual communication programs we have. So this is a new track. The first one is deeply ideological. The track which was given to us from the UK was deeply ideological. It was inspired by the working class movements, leftist movement. The track the track that was given to us by MIT Lab, Massachusetts, is deeply influenced by the internet, mobile technology phenomena, social media factors. The track that is popular in India that originated around 80s is deeply influenced by the logic of the film industry and television industry and advertising industry in India. There are serious contestations between and among them. And also from the side of persons like me who want to introspect what James Carey says in this famous work. Famous not because it is popular, famous for other reasons. Okay, so for the first time, we find in a scholar a very serious self-critique of the North American tradition. So James Carey, for the first time, tells us that the transmission model of communication is pretty purposeless and useless. So whether it is social media, television, or what is circulating with television as serials, all these are having two functions. One is the transmission function, that is conveying something, disseminating something. Second is the ritual function. And in the case of the same television, we have the serials which target women in particular as a site of ritual communication. And ritual communication, simply put, is communication where you are made to belong, where you are made to cultivate a communal belonging, a sense of belonging. So the example Carey gives in this book is very interesting because he comes from a country where they normally give these examples related to Christianity. So James Carey also gives this example where a Sunday Mass happens, and according to him, what is important in a Sunday Mass is not the transmission model of communication, where the priest is telling the audience something from the scriptures, or is giving something through his sermons. So what brings the audience together in a Sunday Mass is this ritual mode of communication where people are able to chat with each other, converse with each other, and pick conversations from the point where they left last Sunday. So they are not interested in what the priest is saying. These are not my words. These are Carrie's words. They are talking, the priest is talking. So what they are talking is to be seen as communication that is meant to provide a certain collective belonging. And this communication is culturally grounded, unlike the transmission mode of communication. And why he talks about this? Okay, so again, binaries are very bad in my opinion. Okay, so we can't say this is good, that is not good, etc., etc. However, man is a subject of binary logic. We have been conditioned to think in binary terms. Unless we get very conscious about the stupidity of binary logic, seeing our students as good students, bad students, seeing our colleagues as good colleagues, bad colleagues, seeing our neighbors as good neighbors and bad neighbors. Okay. So we have been conditioned to think in binary modes. I'm not sure why Carrie went into this binary mode. Probably for getting us better clarity. The advantage of binary mode is you get clarity, okay, with these models. So I'm not here to argue whether this binary logic Carrie employs is good or bad, but I am here to argue that we need to rethink media and communication with the help of what Carrie said in 1989. That is, I quote, the social forms and relations technology make possible are themselves imagined and anticipated by the technology. A building, its precise architecture anticipates and imagines the social relations that it permits and desires. So does a television signal. Social relations of class, status, and power demand both a conceptual structure of persons and a technology to effectuate them. So I like very much this building example, wherein he compares the building with what we consider as one of the important conventional media, television. In the case of both the building, whether it is a flat or an independent house, the building, its architecture, according to him, anticipates and imagines the social relations it permits and desires. So it is no different from a television signal. So this is the advancement Carrie makes, I think, more than 40 years after McLuhan's makes a great advance in our thinking with regard to what is a medium, what is communication. Despite all the criticisms against McLuhan, I appreciate one thing in McLuhan's logic of media and communication. That is, he for the first time locates media as extensions of human bodies. So while he eulogizes and praises media, that is technology-centric media, in a overblown manner, he also gets us some original thinking to see media in entirely non-media context. So the greatest contribution of McLuhan in understanding media is not understanding media like television, radio, films, etc. It is understanding the human body, okay, and what we do with this body, what we do with other objects. Okay, so these examples, okay, wheel as an extension of leg, spectacles as an extension of eyes, okay, all these are very good examples to relate to media as prosthetic devices. But here, Carrie introduces to a different logic. He is not into eulogizing or praising media. He wants us to understand that the media of any age, now we are in the age of social media, and we engage with social media without understanding the heterogeneity or homogeneity of social media. Okay, social media are not as homogeneous as conventional media. Okay, social media are evolving. Okay, they are yet to reach a period, full stop point in their evolution. And no media can hope to reach a final destination. Okay, as we have been seeing with regard to films. We don't have films in the real sense, but we have films of the OTT kind. So there is a certain corruption in the evolution of any media. So in the case of social media also, we are likely to see many corruptions. So the platform logic will undergo corruption or will disappear in the days to come. We don't know. So you keep this building example, building as a media. So I am expanding what Carrie says. Any building is a medium. Any building is a medium because it anticipates social relations and imagines the social relations. Them. Okay. And these social relations are about class, status, power, etc. So as McLuhan said, I am saying that media are mostly about what we do not take seriously in our environment, in our everyday life. Our everyday life is a huge universe of communication and media context. So the first step in learning in this process of rethinking what is media and communication is to rethink, firstly, what is communication? Communication is not only an instrumental, functional process, a process-driven process, as it was taught in our early classes through the SMCR model. Okay, communication is also taking these social forms, is taking the ritual forms, etc., etc. So that's the reason Carrie talks about recasting our studies of communication in terms of a ritual model, not only to firmly grasp, as he says, the wonderful process, but to give us, I quote, a way in which to rebuild a model of and for communication of some restorative value in reshaping our common culture. As I often say, culture is communication and communication is culture. And we have come to a certain distorted reality where we have come to see, relate to communication as media-centric only, not culture-centric. Media are one of the multitudes of social institutions in any given social context. And media have these tendencies to project themselves as sites of culture also. Okay, so we inevitably talk about popular culture, we talk about culture industry, we talk about media culture, and we get into methods of or methodologies of research which want us to examine all these. For instance, if it is semiotics, we have a branch from our side that is media semiotics. Understand? So if it is discourse analysis, we have something from our side to offer, media discourses or media discourse analysis. All these are fine. but we need to pay attention to the very limited logic of media, either as news media or as entertainment media or as any media. And in the case of vernacular languages, it is all the more problematic because we are yet to get adequate definitions of the English word or term media. It is an acute problem in a language like Tamil, where somebody in Sri Lanka gets us a word or term called Udagam, which makes enormous sense from the side of physical sciences, natural science, but not from the side of communication. So that has caught on in Tamil Nadu also. And you find this word stuck as small stickers on the vehicles of journalists and others working for the media. And this has become part of official language also. But this is a very inadequate term. If you are working only in the language of Tamil, this is a very inadequate term to relate to media. Finally, I'm connecting here what Walter Lippmann said during last century, 1920s, and how Carey leverages Lippmann. Now, Lippmann gets us this logic of stereotypes, the pictures in our head. Okay, he defines media and communication differently. So for him, media are about what gets us the picturable reality. I quote Carey, Lippmann's view is that reality is picturable and truth can be achieved by matching an independent, objective, picturable reality against a language that corresponds to it. News cannot picture reality or provide correspondence to the truth. So media are doing this function of getting us reality as pictures, according to Lippmann. This was the time 1920s when he wrote the book Public Opinion 1922 and two other books. There were no visual media except films. So this is very instructive even today. Our social media are getting us pictures. Okay, the social media reality is to be termed as a picturable reality. From the side of whatever we have been given as a visual culture, okay, for the last 2000 years in Tamil Nadu, okay, going by the monuments, sculptures, temple paintings, etc. Reality has always been given as pictures. During the Sangam period, again, reality was again picturable, of course, through the text. So these are my random thoughts on today's topic of the event at DG Vaishnav College. I'm very appreciative of the efforts by Dr. Basant and the colleagues and the guidance given by Dr. Santosh Babu for all this and for getting me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts. Finally, my last word is communication is a fascinating universe. Do not attempt to reduce it to the level of media or media studies. Okay, you can call it by any name. You can call your discipline communication studies, critical communication studies, media studies, journalism studies, or anything. But the universe of communication cannot be understood the universe of media cannot be understood. It's a long journey, fraught with challenges, obstacles, etc. Let us not buy the logic of those who are getting us all this, okay, as a part of the ongoing data capitalism logic, platform capitalism logic, okay. So capital is still to be suspected, still to be taken seriously, along with communication, along with culture. So what defines communication and media are the capital owning platforms, capital owning individuals. Without understanding who owns what as media capital, it is pretty purposeless to study the individual films, individual tweets and individual posts, or individual soap serials on television. That is not to say that the political economy approach is the only way to go. That is not to say that the cultural studies approach is the only way to go. My message today for young scholars is rethink communication and media. Every moment you spend with whatever is related to this. Thank you once again for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful speech.
Thank you.
I request our head of
இல்ல பட்டர்ஸ்காட்ச் எனக்கு நேத்து நீ சாப்பிட்டல பட்டர்ஸ்காட்ச் நான் சாக்லேட் ஸ்ட்ராபெரி தான் சாப்பிட்டேன்.
Please mute your mics.
I now request our head of department, Ms. Vasant Gopal, to kindly announce the winners for the best paper for all the 4 panels.
Good afternoon. It gives me a great pleasure to announce the results of the Best Paper Award held from the presenters for the past 4 sessions, yesterday and today. The paper for yesterday's sessions, the best paper in the first session goes to Brokshan on Film Studies from SRM University. And the second session goes to Mr. Eugene on Visual Media from Loyola College. And today's session on Gender and Media, Paulson Santosh Nityarajan, he gets the Best Paper Award. And New Media and Education, Ms. Vishnu Priya takes the Best Paper Award. So congratulations to all the prize winners. Your certificates for Best Paper as well as your memento will reach you by courier. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I, on behalf of the Department of Visual Communication, would like to thank the Honorable Principal, Captain Dr. S. Santosh Babu, and the Secretary, Shri Ashok Kumar Mundra, for giving us their complete support in organizing this event. I would like to thank our chief guests, Mr. Kopalan Ravindran, and Mr. Shabir Ahmed for joining us. I would like to thank the panel members consisting of Dr. Anurekha Tyagarajan S., Ms. Deborah Raj, Dr. Jenin Raj, and Dr. Shoaib Mohammad Hanif for chairing the session. We would like to thank the head of our department, Ms. Vasant Gopal, for guiding us and supporting us throughout the event. I would like to thank all the participants for their academic contributions. And finally, I would like to thank the staff members, the technical staff members, and the student coordinators, without whom this event would not have been possible. Thank you. Note that the feedback link will be sent to all the participants. So kindly make sure you fill the feedback link before you leave the meeting. Thank you. Sorry, a correction. The feedback link will be sent through the mail. So you can fill that and now you can leave the Zoom meeting. Thank you. Once again, thank you one and all for joining this meeting. Have a good day.